Ole'Pops here, and I'm coming to you tonight for the specific reason of doing a VR for my buddy James Long and his, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the TV, Wheel of Fortune's on, and his 100 sub giveaway. First of all, congratulations on the 100 subs. Last time I looked, I think it was 105, wasn't it? You got a GAW going on, don't you, bud? I want to get in on that because you got some pretty good prizes. You got a pretty little old pipe there. And that's something Ole'Pops never smoked on as a church warden. And I'd like to win that little dude. That's a pretty little pipe. And them three pretty little old ladies you got there showing them off too. Sweethearts. Ole'Pops got three little ladies. 3 daughters. I got me 3 daughters and a son. They all grown now. My youngest one's 21. But you got 3 questions. I think your first question, first of all, I'm smoking on my Ghibli. Ain't that a pretty thing? And she's just patinaing up right nice, just turning dark. Smoking a little bit of peach cobbler from Briarworks International. I think your first question was, if I could be any character from any movie, who would I be? I'd be a fella named Alvin Straight. Played by one of my favorite actors named Richard Farnsworth. The name of the movie was The Straight Story. If you've never had a chance to look at it, you need to watch it. It was made in 1993. It's about a 73-year-old brother who was estranged from his 75-year-old brother. They hadn't spoken over 30 years. Never told you why they was mad at each other, but they hadn't spoken over 30 years. One of them was from Lawrence, Iowa. The other one was from Mount Zion, Wisconsin. Alvin lived in Iowa. Lyle lived in Wisconsin. Lyle, the 75-year-old, was dying. Alvin, the 73-year-old, found out that Lyle was dying. And he wanted to get to him before he did and try to make up with him. And he didn't have the money to get there. He didn't have the means to get there. He didn't have a driver's license to get there. But he got there. The name of the movie is The Straight Story. I'm going to leave it at that. But if I could be anybody out of any movie, as close as my relationship is with my brother, we've had our hard times. We've had times when we didn't speak. It never went 30 years. But I love him dearly. And if I could be anybody in this world, I would be Alvin Straight, the guy that buried the hatchet with his brother. Your second question, I think, was what is my favorite song and who did it, or something along them lines, and why. James, son, that's a hard one to call. I'm a songwriter. I'm a performer. I could tell you it's anything off the Greg Allman Laid Back album. I could tell you it's anything Jackson Browne ever wrote. I could tell you that Townes Van Zandt wrote every favorite song that I've got. I could tell you that that Bob Dylan is my favorite writer. I could tell you that that Tom Waits is the most incredible man that ever picked up a pen. I could tell you that John Prine is God on earth. I don't want to be sacrilege about it. But if I had to pick one song, I guess it would have to be These Days by Jackson Browne. Well, one song that's not one of mine. I guess I'd have to pick These Days by Jackson Browne, because it's about somebody looking at the mistakes that he's made through his life, and not necessarily throwing his hands up and saying, but throwing his hands up and saying, yeah, I made those mistakes. But I don't need to be constantly reminded of them to admit that I made them. I'm going to be all right in spite of them. Last but not least, and because I consider Jackson Browne one of the finest, not vocalists, but lyricists, and I pride myself as a lyricist. And last but not least, you wanted to know my notes. You wanted to know which one of your videos was our favorite one. You got a bunch of them that I like, and I agree with Tobacco Pipe International about the coal mining video. That particular one brought back a lot of memories for me. I remember that as a kid. I remember it making the news and it causing a lot of waves. But the one for me was one that you put out on the 22nd of October called Quick Hello and Old Pete. It's about an old fella that was married to one of your mama's friends, and about how he was sick. And your remembrances of him. And a reason I think that one meant so much to me, it was because I had commented on some of your videos before, but it was the first time that you and I had left a heartfelt comment to each other and exchanged a heartfelt comment with each other. And it was at that point that you started becoming a member of my fire sitters. And there's my entry. Alvin Strait, These Days, and your tribute to Old Pete. I'm Ole'Pops.